What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Salute to everybody that's tuning in. I want to talk about Cari Champion, former First Take host or debate moderator. She was on the show a few years back, up until her abruptly leaving ESPN. Now, I want to make this clear. She was never fired. Cari Champion left ESPN on her own. She wanted to follow behind Jemele Hill, and we see how that has worked out. Well, she did this interview with the I Am Athlete podcast. And she spoke about how she felt like she didn't matter. And not only did she say that, she also said how she felt like ESPN wanted a blonde instead of her, you know, the black woman, which is interesting because she likes to walk around in blonde hair. Like, looking at this interview, she's a blonde-haired black woman. But be that as it may, I want people to understand that when you are a debate moderator on these shows, it is not about you, okay? Let's look at Undisputed. They had Joy Taylor as a moderator. She left the show. The show still continues to go on. No one is asking what happened to Joy Taylor. I don't even think Joy Taylor has even spoken out about her leaving the show. You know why? Because she's on to something else that she probably wanted to do, which is work with Colin Cowherd. But Cari Champion, because she has had failure after leaving ESPN, because it ain't as easy as she thought it would be. You know, now she's having this reflective interview and wants to put it on ESPN as if she doesn't matter. Cari, the thing is, when you take a job as a debate moderator on a show like that, you're not that important. You're really not. And I think it's the ego talking. Because if Cari was as successful as she thought she was on that show, she would have more better opportunities. Now, she's had opportunities, her and Jemele Hill, but it has not worked out quite well. And they love to go to the comment of, well, they wanted a blonde-haired white woman instead. They switched you up with a female that's not blonde, okay? She's somebody. You know, we know it's about Molly Karam. You know, even Molly Karam has become the longtime Cari Champion. She hasn't really mattered either. And I think that Cari Champion has to understand that you are interchangeable. Now, Cari Champion, I'm not going to act like she didn't contribute to the show. Cari Champion did a very good job on First Take. I'm not going to sit here and say she didn't. Cari Champion did a very good job on that show. I think that she was able to bring steadiness. You know, she wasn't, I would say towards the end of her time as a host there, she kind of tried to assert herself a little bit, but for the most part, she did her job as a debate moderator. I think that she should get props for that. But you are interchangeable because ultimately you did not make that show. They put you over on SportsCenter and you did such a great job that you left the company and didn't even try to keep you. And I think that Cari is reflective because where is she now? Where is she now? She went from being a debate moderator on one of the most popular sports shows on TV to basically not knowing what else she's going to do that's going to be as successful as that. And I think Cari needs to take that up with herself. All these insecurities that she may have, she needs to work on those things. Because it's very clear to me that she has certain insecurities. And she needs to work on that. Instead of going on I Am Athlete and talking about how she doesn't feel like she doesn't matter, you should have been happy to be there. She went from the tennis channel to ESPN, so she should be happy to be there. ESPN was at its peak. Right? ESPN has declined significantly over the years since Cari Champion has been there and left. But when she got there, ESPN was a very, very big deal on TV. All right. Now let's get into this article from The Spun about Cari Champion. Cari Champion sounds off on First Take. Fans react. During a recent appearance on the I Am Athlete podcast, former ESPN First Take moderator Cari Champion shared what it was like sitting at that desk, telling Brandon Marshall and company that the show made her feel like she didn't matter. Oh, so I guess the nice paycheck you were getting every month, I guess it didn't help. You know, the exposure that you got, I guess that didn't help. This is the clip here, and let's play it.
When I went into audition, it was Skip and Stephen A. They had just announced that they were going to be the permanent host, and they're getting a third person. And they interviewed Jamel Hill, and they interviewed mostly blonde women, if I'm honest. They interviewed a bunch of blonde women. And then Jamel Hill was one, and they interviewed me and one of.
Why does that even matter? Why does that even matter if they were a bunch of blondes? Cari, aren't you a blonde? You see what I mean when it comes to the insecurity of these women and how insecure these women are? They love to bring up the race of the woman, right? Well, not race, excuse me. When she said blonde, we all know she's talking about them Beckies. But again, Cari, why does that matter that they were blondes? They didn't get the job. You got the job. You got the job, Cari. You outdid all those blondes. You even outdid your friend. So them being blondes there didn't really make anything worse for you.
Another black girl. And I went in for the audition knowing they already wanted a blonde. Because this is Monday through Friday on a popular show. You're not going to hire a black girl, especially not a brown-skinned black girl. You're not hiring me. That's how I...
Yo, they're looking at her like, what are you talking about? You know, she's talking to guys who, you know, they've dated blondes before. I don't know about Brandon Marshall, but, you know, come on, man. You see what I mean? The deep insecurity that Cari Champion has. You got all these opportunities. You got an opportunity to do a show on Vice. You got an opportunity to do a show on CNN Plus. Were they looking for blondes too? Of course they're going to audition different types of women, but none of those women got the job, Cari.
So I do the audition, and I'm like, I kill it. I tell my agent, kind of agent at the time, I was like, I kill it. But if they give it to me, I'd be surprised. But he was like, how'd you do it? I felt like I was that good. I knew I was that good, and I knew the audition went well. I didn't think they were giving it to me. I wanted First Take, was to meet you in person, just to make sure it's all put together. Like, she is who she looks like, you know, because it's a physical thing, right? And she is what she says. And then I get the job, and I know it's a big deal. They don't tell me it's a big deal because they don't want me to be nervous. They act like it's something. It's like, come on, okay, we need you to start by football season. You know, so it's October 1. We already a month behind. So start. So I get the gig, and I don't know Skip and Stephen A. I didn't feel like I had to dumb myself down, which is honestly the reason why I think I got the job. I was completely naive. I didn't know Skip and Stephen A that well. I just knew them from TV, and I thought it was a lot of bluster. I thought it was just what they did, but they are exactly who they are. And so what comes with people who are really talented, because both I say this, and I'm not, this is no cap, super talented. They worked hard. They taught me work ethic. We would work 6-7 days a week. We cover Super Bowl, take 2 days off, fly somewhere. Finals, it was brutal, back and forth, flying across the country. They worked hard, and they did the homework, and they came prepared. Nobody was unprepared. But the problem was, for me as a black woman in that position, and at the time, and you can do the research, nobody was Monday through Friday on a popular 2-hour TV show that was a black woman at the time.
That, you know what's crazy? You had shows with black women. I'm trying to think back, because I'm sure I've seen black women on TV talking, you know, as far as sports is concerned. You have black women sideline reporters, especially in the NFL. Pam Oliver. There was another one I cannot think of. So there have been black women who've been prominent in the spotlight when it comes to sports, okay? But when it comes to Cari Champion, I think that she's bought into the black women don't get representation. But black women have always gotten representation. I don't know necessarily always in sports, but if you look into other genres, black women have gotten a ton of opportunities, a ton of spotlight. But what they're teaching in society now is that black women, you don't get enough opportunities. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna give you those opportunities. We're gonna awkwardly put you in situations that are gonna get you backlash because people are wondering why is she there? You know, just like with the not the Han Solo, but with the Kenobi. You know, Kenobi had the controversy when you had the black actress in there who there were those that thought she did a good job. A lot of others didn't think she did a good job, thought she was diversity hire. And I think Cari Champion is a diversity hire supporter. You need a black woman in there just for the sake of being black. You know, forget if she can do her job properly. We just need more black women there, period. That's on their minds 24/7. Not that the woman is good enough, but she just has to be black. That doesn't make any sense because what that's going to do is if that situation fails, who's going to get blamed for it? The diversity hire. Because they feel like she's not doing a good enough job. She's just there just for being black. This is the ideology that they carry.
And they just, you know, they let me know I didn't matter. You know, and whatever, intentionally, unintentionally, it was obvious. It was just like, you don't matter. Just be happy that you're here. Ask questions. Don't talk.
Come on, man. Do y'all seriously believe that? They not only they give her an opportunity to be a part of First Take, they gave her a job doing SportsCenter. She left the network willingly. She wasn't fired. She wanted to follow in her stupid ideology of black women need representation and we're going to fight for representation. And where has that landed you, Cari? Where's that landed you? You see, a lot of these melanated women got to understand that you have every opportunity in the world. If you're not good enough for it, you're not good enough for it. You see, us as black men, we don't complain. We do the work. And the thing is, black women get a ton of opportunities in corporate America. They get a bunch of opportunities in the hiring department. They are a double minority. You know how many black men have lost opportunities because they'd rather hire a black woman instead who's less qualified than them because she's a double minority? Most of these places you go to, it don't matter what, it could be fast food, it could be clothing, it could be a bank. You're gonna see at least one black woman in there, or two or three, depending on if it's a big bank and have a lot of employees in there. So black women get a ton of opportunities in our society, but it's never enough because they have a hole in their soul and they seek validation 24/7 in order to fill it up, and it's never filled. And I think that's what most women in our society, they're never fulfilled with what they have. They want more and more and more until there's nothing left. Let's look at some of the reactions. Someone says, I mean it was Skip and Stephen Ace talk show. Someone says, I always felt she was the best host moderator they had. Someone says, Cari Champion, well, you matter. I was sad when you left the show, but your legacy is still there, and you set a tone for black females in sports entertainment. Someone says, oh my, see, again, it's all about the 24/7 dash to validation as much as possible. So let me know in the comment section. Well, let me know your thoughts. Like this video and share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll see y'all next one.